Hello, can everybody hear me? Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming to our second annual Juneteenth celebration. This is amazing. Before I begin to speak, I just wanted to let you know that there's food and snacks over there. Please eat them. They've been donated. And we have a craft. So if the kids have, get antsy, please send them over to the craft table. I'd like to say thank you to the band. We have Will Nelson, Evenson, Vincent, and David Sandoval. They sounded amazing. Thank you, guys. Welcome all, and thank you so much for joining us to celebrate today. I would like to first take a moment to acknowledge some people that are present. State Representative Jim Kelkhorst, thank you for showing up today. It's really important that you're here. Diana DeZaglio's representative, Kelly Miranda, she's in the audience. And thank you. And Afroz Khan, thank you so much. Your support is so important and necessary. Oh, and Heather Shand. Let's give a round of applause for Heather Shand. Thank you. Thank you. So I would like to start with that Juneteenth is a federal holiday that celebrates the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. We celebrate this day to commemorate June 19, 1865, when the US troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to inform enslaved African Americans of their freedom. This announcement came more than 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. We gather here today to acknowledge the enormous struggles Black people in our country have endured and continue to endure. We seek to bring more awareness to this historic day and to reflect on the lived experience of Black people in our communities. We honor the work that has been done, and we look forward to the work still left to do as individuals, as organizations, and in our community to get us closer to the ideals that our country is based on. I hope that we will leave here today inspired to listen more, read more, understand more about the Black American experience on this very American holiday. I would like to now invite Mayor Sean Reardon to the podium for a greeting and reading of a proclamation. Thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing? I said, how's everybody doing? All right, just glad you guys are here. What a beautiful day. I mean, I was nervous looking at the weather before coming today, so it looks like the rain's going to hold off, so we're going to have a really great time here the next few hours. Just two other people I wanted to call out for being here today. I saw Vice Chair Sarah Hall from the school committee out there in the audience today, so and also school committee member Brian Callahan is out there as well, so thank you both for coming today. All right, well, thank you everyone for coming today, right? For joining us today to celebrate Juneteenth, and to come together as a community to reflect on what this holiday means here in Newburyport. I am so grateful to all the community leaders who have worked to make this celebration of this day a reality, including first and foremost the Newburyport Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Alliance, who are instrumental in bringing the observance of this holiday to the forefront. Thank you to the DEI Alliance's coordinator, Tina Lose, who works tirelessly to support the youth of Newburyport and to help make, yeah, she does it again. And to help make Newburyport a new and more inclusive and supportive community. I also want to thank the Human Rights Commission, whose mission is to ensure that the human rights of all persons are supported. And they have taken on a number of initiatives here in the city to make Newburyport a more welcoming and open. I would also like to recognize all the community groups represented here today. And last, thank you all of you for being here, including our speakers who will offer their words to us today. Jamele Adams, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Scituate Public Schools, will be our featured speaker. Yes, absolutely. And I am so grateful for you being willing to come all the way up here to the North Shore to offer us your thoughts and wisdom. You know, Juneteenth is above all else a celebration. We are celebrating the end of slavery in the United States and celebrating the beauty of freedom and courage for those who fought for it. We celebrate the times in our nation's history where the better angels of our nature guided us in the right direction and where justice did prevail. But it's not enough to celebrate today. It is impossible to mark this day without remembering the cruelty and injustices done to enslaved peoples and the inequalities that still exist in our world, our nation, and our community today. The day itself marks the joy that enslaved peoples of Galveston, Texas must have felt having been notified of their freedom on June 19, 1865, but carries the tragic reality that this was a full 2 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. It is not enough to celebrate today. Today we celebrate, but we also learn and we act. We learn by listening to voices of the past and present about the realities of what enslaved persons endured and what injustices Black Americans still face. And we act. We look for ways to support Black-owned businesses, to close wealth and educational gaps, and to offer more opportunities for good jobs for all. We gather in community and discuss what can we do better, and then we act. I ask the people of Newburyport to take this opportunity today to celebrate, to learn, and to act, and to do what we can to bend the arc of the moral universe towards justice. Thank you very much. Now I get to do one of my favorite things, is read a proclamation, so bear with me, okay? But there's a lot of really wonderful things in here. Whereas on June 19th, 1865, over 2 years after issuing of the Emancipation Proclamation, the enslaved people of Galveston, Texas received the word that they were now free. And whereas Juneteenth was first celebrated in Texas in 1866 and has been observed in communities across the nation since to mark the emancipation of enslaved peoples. And whereas the city of Newburyport honors its history as home to the leaders in the abolitionist movement, but also remembers its complicity in slavery and commerce tied to the slave trade, and is now committed to furthering the values of justice and equality. And whereas the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act was signed into law in June 2021, making it the nation's newest federal holiday. Whereas the Newburyport Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Alliance has worked with the greater community to mark Juneteenth as a day to celebrate, to learn, and to act. Whereas on this day, as in cities and towns across the nation, people of all races, nationalities, and religions join in community to acknowledge the pain caused by slavery in the past and its legacy that remains with us today, including the systemic impact of racial injustice in the United States. Juneteenth is a day to reflect on how to recommit ourselves to our shared goals of creating a more just and equitable society. Now therefore I, Sean R. Reardon, Mayor of the great city of Newburyport, do hereby proclaim June 19th, 2022, Juneteenth Independence Day, and that the city will observe the holiday Monday, June 20th. I urge all residents to celebrate the holiday, learn more about its history and significance, and take action by finding ways to further justice and equity in our community. Given under my hand and this seal, the 17th day of June in the year 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Sean Reardon, for that wonderful proclamation. I now have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Jamele Adams, who holds a place in his heart for Newburyport, which you will see shortly, is currently the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Scituate Public Schools, and was previously the Dean of Students at Brandeis University. Jamele is a nationally celebrated poet and has shared his talents with our young people here in Newburyport through our Writing Out program, racism course that he teaches with Deb Szabo. Jamele is passionate about building genuine human connections and speaks widely about his model LIT, which stands for love, inclusion, and trust. He also created Freedom Teams, which is a community-based model to promote, celebrate, and embrace DEI work. Jamele is well known for speaking on topics around DEI, and notably his TED Talk, Love, Race, Love, Freedom. It is my pleasure to bring to the podium Jamele Adams.
What's up, y'all? How you doing? And I said, how y'all doing? All right, so there's a couple things we're gonna do before I get into a thing. I'm all about bringing people together. I come here and I see a street blocked off, but nobody in the street. So that is just a little interesting. So what I want to do is a couple things. When I say family, I want y'all to say yes. Family? Yes. Live a lot. Let's wake up the whole town. Let's go. Family? Yes. Family? Yes. Now, if you will, everybody rise up for a moment. Rise up if you can and will and are able. Rise up for a moment. I'm also building, I did my little research and I saw that this got set off last year, and Ed Carlson in the building, I see you right there. Ed did his thing last year, did his thing. So I'm building on that, and I listened to it wasn't a podcast, I don't think, I can remember what it was I listened to. Anyway, he's talking about today. So, and what I want to ask folks to do is come into the street. Come into the street, but now you're not just coming just to walk into the street, because we got Willing Away here. Can you show Willing Away some love? That is the band. I got here and they were rocking and nobody was dancing, so wait a minute. When they start rocking, I want you to jam a little bit. This is supposed to be for everybody's celebration, bringing people together. You can't be in the shade chilling and all of that, and then you got a band rocking and the street is blocked off and nobody is together. So I need people to get together. Can we do that, family? I said, can we do that, family? Willing Away, let's go rock out, y'all. And if anybody know the electric slide, you know that go to this song. Come on, Ed, I know you know the electric slide, Ed. Lead them through, Ed. Lead them through the electric slide, Ed. Here we go. Oh my God, Ed. Yes. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do everybody do this. Just lower it a little bit. Don't stop. This is what I want you to do. If you have your phone, take your cell phone out. Take your cell phone out if you have your phone. If you have your phone, take your cell phone out. I know Ms. Zappa knows what's about to happen. And my crew from the Right Now Racism class, I know what's about to happen. Take your cell phone out if you have your cell phone. What I want you to do is find somebody that you did not come here with today and ask them with their permission to take a selfie with them. Go for it. Right now, you got like 40 seconds. Don't forget to take a selfie with Willing Away. The band is right here. You got the mayor here. Take a selfie with someone. Our host is right here. Take your selfies. Here you go. Family, you say yes, family? Yes! Family? Yes! Now, the selfies that you just took, if you want, you can send them to the following phone number. This is my number. And what I'll do is make a file of those, and then I will send them to Tina. Where's Tina at? Tina right there. Show Tina some love. Tina and Ms. Zab will work with me to make this happen, and I'll send a file to you, okay? So here's the number. And if you hear something from me that you want to continue talking about, we can continue that conversation, or if you want to copy something, we can do that as well. All right? So the number is like a song, 781-726-0019. 781-726-0019. 781-726. Yes, say it. Don't call me. Somebody's calling me again. 781-726. Thank you. 781-726. All right, just make sure you edit it out of the recording, that part. But send it, and what I will do, again, once I get all the selfies together, I will make a compiled file. I'll send them to Ms. Los, and then I'll probably send whoever sends me a selfie a thank you Bitmoji, so like a little cartoon version of me that says many thanks, and then I will delete the numbers and I'll delete the photos. Just want to let folks know that, okay? Yes? Make sure you say thank you to the people you took selfies with. Say thank you to them. All right, now, if you would, repeat after me. Because there are a number of people that don't believe that this is possible, that we should get people together, and that this is necessary. Absolutely, we are defeating their lowered expectations of this community and of ourselves. We are a family. We've affirmed that more than enough times. We are not the statistics they want us to be. So with that, please repeat after me. Say, I'm not a statistic. Statistics do not define my identity. In fact, my identity defies statistics. Statistics are static in the accomplishment of our beautiful destiny. Statistics, get out of my way. I said, statistics, get out of my way. We said, statistics, get out of my way. Family, if you would, with the permission of the people next to you, give them a high five or an energy high five where you don't touch hands, you just give energy, something. Get permission for that first. All right? So now, Juneteenth. Juneteenth is, I only got a couple of minutes with you all, but we're going to make the most out of it. All right? So let me hear you say, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. But we'll use the time that we have. Juneteenth is the nationally recognized day that acknowledges the final notification of family and folks in Galveston, Texas, regarding the ending of slavery. Know that this information was not welcome by y'all. Not everybody received that information, and some decided to protest the very act, the thought, and law, and refused to follow through with it. But also know that Juneteenth is apartment time. Now folks may ask, what is apartment time? Apartmental is a word blending the sounds and meanings of other words. Examples of portmanteaus: cosplay, costume, and play and role play. Edutainment, education and entertainment. Biopic, biography, and picture as in film. Dramedy, drama, comedy. Mockumentary, mock, and documentary. So you get it. Might we suggest some new portmanteau, like bladder, black, love, matter, everyone, love, and everyone, freeple, freedom, and people, G-quality, gender, and equality, equity, like black, trans, equity. See, language, y'all can show some love for that. Don't be silent. We formulated new portmanteaus. Portient, participating audience. There you go, see, portmanteau. Language is created by circumstance. Now is circumstance. We must not cosplay freedom. Reject the notion that the construct of race is a dramedy. Create a new biopic that includes blackness in the word all, and that it is not a mockumentary void of any edutainment value. Do y'all hear me? Now, I said, do y'all hear me? I need to know, are you freeple or ensleeple? In fact, what is the portmanteau of ensleeple? No more are we the enslaved. Let me hear you say, I am free. I am free. Let me hear you say, we are free. We are free. I need you to mean it when you say it, because we need that to happen in order for us to actually, literally, figuratively, practically be free. We must be voiceful and free people. I want you to tell your neighbor, I am the love. Turn to your neighbor, say, I'm the love. That hate can't stop. Say it one more time, I'm the love. That hate can't stop. People, Juneteenth, say it one more time. Say Juneteenth. Better known as Freedom Day. Say Freedom Day. Now, Freedom Day, the portmanteau of Freedom Day is what? Take a guess. Well, put it together, you would get fray, right? And so fray means struggle. Is freedom struggle? Define freedom. What is freedom? Are we free? Are we freeple? Absorbing the grace and honor of the indigenous family before us. Can we show love to the indigenous people that were here before us? Can we show love to them? And can we show love for the ancestors, our friends and family of all genders, all pronouns, of all lives that are not here with us? Can we show them some love as well? And any loved ones not here with us, and lives lost while grocery shopping, attending school, going to church, living and loving, we genuflect our souls and salute them. For them and the portmanteau of freedom fighters, including Max, Mutha, Famer, Geist, we say thank you. We gather in wisdom, peace, and reverence. I want you to remove the letter Y from the word yours. Now is that time. When you remove the letter Y from the word yours, what do you have? Ours. That's what it is. It is our time. This is our circumstance. We are the movement and the moment. You are the greatness and we are the greatness in you. See your full self and witness love. Juneteenth is a full rotation around the sun. Feel that full rotation around the sun, not just a moment past midnight. Juneteenth is a portmanteau of love. Let me just say love. Love. It's a portmanteau of love, family. We need that to make things happen. Love is not weak. Let me say love is not weak.
Love is not weak.
Many people think that that's the case. It absolutely is not weak. Understand that love originates from a source. And I believe that one of the sources of some of the most disrespected people on the planet, some of the most disrespected people on the planet are women. Don't hesitate on the applause. It's a fact. There's no TV station, movie, book, commercial, whatever, where those who are women identify as won't see some form of disrespect facing them on a regular basis multiple times a day. And of them, more disrespected are women of color. And of them are black women. Family, understand, there is no Juneteenth without black women.
Call her liberation. She was planted in this nation many years ago. A single black seed in a place far from home. Our history, every freedom ride, every protest song has made roots here, strong. No storm can shake her, no wind can knock her down. When nurtured with empathy, watered with reparations, reconciliation grows. It bears fruit enough to feed us all. Now, there is nourishment enough for everyone blooming on this tree. One branch grows returned land. One grows livable wages. Over there, a lantern hangs to guide ripped apart families home. This one grows freedom from birth. These cradle a treehouse, sheltering young people with nowhere to go. Their love has been outlawed. They all have a home here. We weren't there when this great tree was first planted in barren soil. We've seen how she has been weathered by hatred, struck by bolts of prejudice, how they have tried to chop her down time and time again. They have not won yet. Still, liberation grows. We all must take care of her now. We all must take care of each other.
Friends and family. That's Tuala. Show Tuala some love. Now, if you would, gather around a little closer. Gather around a little closer. We off mic right now. I'm messing up the recording, and that's okay. Because there was a time where people would come together, and there wouldn't be amplification. People just have to tune in and listen like I had to do with Tuala just now if you wanted to hear what was up. And hopefully my voice is loud enough, and I apologize to folks that may not. I'm going to speak as loudly as I can. Understand, this is what we need. I asked you all to take selfies. The reason for that was because all I asked you to do was get permission from someone in order to do that. Folks did that and took photos with someone who they didn't know. What you didn't ask was, what is your label? What do you connect yourself with? There might be some reason that I might separate myself from you. You asked for permission, folks took out the digital device, smiled, put arms around each other, got permission and said click, and that was it. Now we have immortalized moments of community, of family, of folks getting together regardless of what their political identity is, regardless of what their gender is, regardless of what their sexuality is, regardless of what their economic status is, any label that we want to attach. Regardless of all that, we figured out a way to be together and move forward together. Did we not? Yes. Imagine if the rest of the planet did the same thing. Yo, that took literally someone rocking with the band, you're getting together, partying a little bit, and saying, can we do this? Y'all said yes. That's all it was. That's all that took. We can do this on a regular basis. This can happen all the time. We just have to take that step. Every time, every day. Tuala, what you just heard, what y'all don't know, is that it's less than 48 hours old. I said, in fact, I was working with Dabo. You know, folks know Dabo? Yes. That makes it possible for me to be in your midst and connect with Tina and folks like that. I have the privilege of co-teaching the Writing Out Racism course with Deb for 8 weeks to hang out with them. And they are incredible. The conversation is so rich and so real, and we family. And it's not always love because of what we got to talk about, what we go through. But we come together all the time. So that's love. Let me say love. Love. How you love? How you love? Who you love? Who you love? Again, love. Love. How you love? How you love? Who you love? Who you love? What that means is that you love others the way you love the people that you love. That's what this is about. That's what the protests and the rallies and the sit-ins and the die-ins and the noise is all about. Regardless of what side you want to represent, it's about people saying, hear me, love me, make sure that you understand that we're here. Think about someone that you love, or people that you love. If you can't think of someone, hopefully you can think of yourself at the least. Turn to your neighbor and say, I hope you love yourself. Now let's bring it back. And if not, let's talk. We got a number of people here who can help out and get us in that journey together. Now, as you think about those loved ones, if they are in danger, are you going to try to get them out of danger? Yes. If they are asking for help, are you going to try to help them? Yes. If someone is after them, are you going to try to protect them? Yes. People, we got people feeling that way. We have people feeling that way. Love how you love who you love. If you see people feeling like they're in pain, feel like people are hurt. I get it, to hurt people, please. I get that. Let's have to love people. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do that. One of my favorite speakers and orators, as well as athletes, is Muhammad Ali. One of the things he says is, service to others is the rent you pay for your place on earth. Service to others is the rent you pay for your space on earth. Everything we're doing right now will reverberate in some way, shape, or form. These young people, they're going to take this song, and the world's going to be in a better place because of them. All these young people. Somehow, y'all got pushed into the front. And we appreciate y'all being, and you proud, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we love y'all in the front. All the young people, I see the young people in the back. And this is good. We need that to happen. All right? Now, there's so much and not enough time, like I said. So, this morning I listened to some James Baldwin, because I do that every now and then. And he was talking about freedom. And James Baldwin says that, I'm going to paraphrase. If you've never heard of James Baldwin, please look him up. If you've never heard him speak, please YouTube his interview and just be prepared for something mind-blowing. What he says is that we're not really about freedom until we about giving up that power. So what we got to do is do that. Sacrifice that. I always say, don't do everything you could. Nah, do love. We just said, love how you love who you love. If people said I did everything that I could, you would never tell a loved one I did everything that I could. You wouldn't. You would go all out until there was nothing left.
Yes.
That's what we need folks to do. Go all out until there's nothing left.
Yeah.
If folks want to know an idea of what it takes to do it, all the people who work in places that were trying to work through COVID for the last 3 years, when it first got on, there was countless meetings. There were annoying meetings. They happened every day, 2 or 3 times a day, folks trying to figure out how to keep it going. That level of commitment is the beginning of what we need and require now every day to make this happen.
Yes.
That's what we need. So, Juneteenth is for everybody, but we got to treat it that way. We got to make it something that is that fantastic. Last year, you said, I don't do July 4th for me, Juneteenth is that for me. I heard that was like dope. So we celebrate me partying with you for today. My guess is if we all go to Ed's spot, there's going to be a barbecue today. You didn't get invited, but you got invited.
No. Come on down. I don't
There we
figure
go.
it out.
All right, so now I want to make sure that I don't skip over something I really wanted to mention here. Yes, I'm not going to be able to get to all of that. So, all right. This day, how I got to the place where it was for everybody, I'll tell you a personal story, was that that's the only way I can really receive it in some regard. Because when I was like, I don't know how to celebrate, just because it wasn't on the end of like winning a war. It wasn't on the end of like, I don't know, some like physical battle, something like most things come on the end of that and they become this celebration. But then what I did for myself, I internalized the importance of it and what it means, and that the beauty of it is that it represents the possibility that we can actually be where we're supposed to be. And so that's what Juneteenth represents to me, and I'm hoping that that's what folks feel on this, what it can be. I did the research on the flag, and I know what the flag means. The star in the middle, that represents, who knows? Anyone?
Everyone?
Well, not really, but good.
Texas.
Texas, yes. The star, the star, the red, the white star in the middle, that represents Texas. The opposite, Texas, where folks got that information. I mean, just, we were to really do a lesson on this. 2 years to get the information, then people fight. It wasn't like we free and everybody, it was all love. It was not. It was not. And then the reverberation around the star, what does that represent? Sunburst of what? Representing,
Texas.
you're on the, no. Represent, well, Texas is the middle star because of where it was, but it represents a sunburst and new energy for black people in this country. That's what that represents. And then the red, white, blue, you know what that is. That's just to honor the country's colors. So understand that when we do this, in no way, shape, or form is it someone saying we hate this country. It's not that. It's folks saying let's be what we're supposed to be, what we can be, at our best. That doesn't mean we have to agree on everything. We can disagree all day without physically coming to blows. We can have conversation and not confrontation. Yes? That's what he's talking about. All right, Tina, I gotta stop. So I will do that. We'll end with this. Let's end together like we did. If you will, repeat after me. This again is from Muhammad Ali, then I add something more to it that I appreciate. So let me say, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I said that before I even knew I was.
I said that before I even knew I was.
Don't tell me I can't do something.
Don't tell me I can't do something.
Don't tell me it's impossible.
Don't
Don't tell me it's impossible.
Don't tell me I'm not the greatest.
Don't tell me I'm not the greatest.
I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
Double the greatest.
Double the greatest.
Yeah. We are committed to we.
We are committed to we.
Unapologetic for who we are.
Unapologetic for who we are.
We are the present.
We are the present.
We are the future.
We are the future.
Driven by love.
Driven by love.
And a passion.
And a passion.
Solidarity.
Solidarity.
In the human family.
In the human family.
It is frustrating.
It's frustrating.
When lives are not valued. Therefore, we must never sever.
We must never sever
our efforts.
our efforts
For peace.
for peace
And equality.
and equality.
Hands up. One heart.
One heart.
One love.
One love.
One life.
One life.
One people.
One people.
One family.
One family.
One heart.
One heart.
One love.
One love.
One life.
One life.
One people.
One people.
One family.
One family.
One more time as loud as we can. One heart.
One heart.
One love.
One love.
One life.
One life.
One people.
One people.
One family.
One family.
Show some love. Show some love, Newburyport.
Amen, brother.
Ready? You ready to speak? You ready? 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 These folks are like, yes, I'm ready to speak. You like that. You like that.
I want to speak.
Let's give another round of applause for Jamele. Thank you. And I'd like to invite Debbie Sabo to the podium to introduce your group, or you can bring your group with you.
Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States.
According to the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. But in Galveston in 1865, freedom was still denied.
2.5 years of life
Lost.
It took another 100 years for legislation to follow up on liberation.
To give a vote to those who never spoke in fear of retribution. Their voices,
Their lives.
lost.
Corporations are quick to say,
Black lives matter, so their profits get fatter. But black workers can't reach the top of the ladder.
equitable opportunity,
Lost. We're sick of these empty promises. Because the problem is the lack of change is obvious. Is that what we're calling this?
Change, like pennies and nickels in a pocket that can't buy you anything of substance. How long can we trust this?
You buy time with budgets, but you still won't budge it. The feeling of needing to be one of the good ones without doing anything of substance.
Should we hold your hand as you cross the pavement step after step that you need help taking?
Stop waiting, inflating your ego.
Because after 400 years, we know justice delayed is justice denied.
So where do we go from here?
Do we move past all the history that has happened?
Forget Tulsa.
Forget Rosewood. Forget Charlottesville.
Forget the slashing of the BLM flag on the doors of the Unitarian Church.
Forget Emmett Till.
Forget Tamir Rice. Forget Michael Brown.
Forget Breonna Taylor.
Or should we
Say their names. Should we walk straight into the flames?
Attack the vines and they will grow back, but pull from the root. Every court fueled by profit and power instead of justice.
Every school ruled by fear of the truth, growing prison population instead of mine. If we lay our shuttered eyes upon the lies that reside beneath the shining surface, we don't have to live in a country where being black is a crime.
So we ask you,
Analyze, empathize,
And organize.
do anything to fix the very thing you claim to care so much about.
We the people can bring the power to the protests. Bring a shot of hope to the hopeless situation.
Make an impact.
Correct those bigoted interactions.
Break the shackles.
Whatever they may be made of.
And create a world filled with freedom and love.
Well, we're giving up the microphone at this point. I will try to project. My name is John Feehan. I'm the Executive Director of the YWCA Greater Newburyport.
All right, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, our mission is eliminating racism, empowering women, promoting peace, justice, and freedom and dignity for all.
Yeah.
And I want to call out too often when we talk about the pay gap in our country, and we say that there's a 75-cent pay gap in our country between men and women, that's between men and white women. And it's 50% for women of color, and it's 75% for Hispanic women. Tremendous injustice in our world. They asked me to talk about some call to action, which seems kind of superfluous at this point, because I think what you said was right. Love is the answer, and we've got to learn to love as we love ourselves. I think we've heard that before. So I'm just going to point out two things. One is education. We need to spend more time educating ourselves, but not too much time. I think we've spent enough time doing it. The Newburyport Public Library has a display on right now. I'd encourage you all to take advantage of that and to look at the resources that they have. In addition to that, I'd like to call out two books. One is by Heather McGee, The Sum of Us. If you've not read it, please read it. It really puts an interesting context on what it's cost all of us for discrimination and racism. And the other is Ibram X. Kendi's book, Being Anti-Racist, because we need to start taking action. We need to do more. The second thing is, this is supposed to be a celebration. I know I'm not very good at it. You were great at it. But there's a lot of things that are happening around town. Let's celebrate that and participate in that. Now I'm going to read notes because otherwise I'll forget. Blockhouse has got refreshments after this and an exhibit of paintings of Ray Charles and Miles Davis. Local restaurants are doing Juneteenth celebrations, the Paddle Inn and Bar 25. And then Sunday at the Farmers Market, members of the NAACP will be here to talk about their work as well. Thank you all very much.
So, what I wanted to add on to what you were saying is that this doesn't have to be this large. It can happen regularly, like every month or something like that. Food brings people together. I know I was joking about Ed having a barbecue, but probably really is because I remember what you said. But there's a situation where folks have this thing called a traveling dinner kind of thing, and different communities do it where folks invite others to their houses. I know COVID and things like that, you welcome people into your space where you can share and just a meal together, and you can talk about different things. You mentioned the library. The library is one of the central crossways in any community. You can have a conversation in the library like once a month. I know that we do that in a couple of different towns. So those are two additional things we can do on that. The other thing is say hello to each other, because sometimes saying hello might save somebody's life. So there you go.
And poetry is also.
Yeah, my fault. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, guys. That was wonderful. I have Reverend Helen Murgida, who is going to is an interfaith minister who serves as an affiliate minister at the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist in Newburyport, alongside Reverend Rebecca Bryan. One of her primary responsibilities is being in charge of the Accessibility and Inclusion Ministry, AIM, which identifies needs and responds to them by building equal accessibility and opportunities for everyone with visible and invisible disabilities wherever possible. I would now like to invite Reverend Murgida to the podium. If whatever inspires, go for it. Do it.
I'm sorry.
Dear friends, I am so honored to be here with you today, and I really thank the presenters. They did a wonderful job, very, very moving. We gather in a spirit of celebration, but also reconciliation. President Barack Obama reminds us, Juneteenth has never been a celebration of progress or victory or acceptance of the way things are. It is a celebration of progress. It is an affirmation that despite the most painful parts of our history, change is possible, and there's still so much work to do. As an interfaith minister, I offer these words about our shared humanity from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Whether one is rich or poor, educated or illiterate, religious or non-believing, man, woman, and I add LGBTQIA+, black, white, or brown, we are all the same. Physically, emotionally, and mentally, we are equal. We all share basic needs for food, shelter, safety, and love. We all aspire to happiness, and we all shun suffering. Each of us has hopes, worries, fears, and dreams. Each of us wants the best for our family and loved ones. We all experience pain when we suffer loss, and joy when we achieve what we seek. On this fundamental level, religion, ethnicity, culture, and language make no difference. On this Juneteenth, in the spirit of humanity, we pray for the end of racism, racial inequities, and hatred in our nation, for an end to all forms of slavery and human trafficking in the world. We recognize what has been done and left undone, knowing there is still much to do, so much further to go. Living in God's grace and forgiveness, may we confess and confront our own prejudices and fears, serving as catalysts for change, reconciliation, and healing. Go in peace and love and with great joy. Amen.
Come on down.
I guess, oh, there it is. I was gonna come on down, but now I'm gonna stay up here. Thank you, Reverend Murgida. I wanted to say a final thank you to everyone who contributed to the event today, either planning, participating, spreading the word, and to all of you who joined us here today. It's so important that we all show up. If there's one thing you can do, is show up. And I would also, as I was standing here listening to all of this inspiring language and poetry and watching everybody's faces, I have a task for next year. If you want to leave here with something to do, I would say, when you leave next year and you know about Juneteenth, go out, tell 5 people you know, bring them here. If there's one thing you can do this whole year, is have them show up on Juneteenth so they know what this day is about, and that you will have done something. So, thank you. We will now have the raising of the Juneteenth flag and the playing of the Black National Anthem. Lift Every Voice and Sing, performed by Will Nelson and Evenson Vincent. So if I could have some of the kiddos with Mayor Reardon come up to the flag. Thank you. Beautiful. All right, everybody, thank you again for coming. I think we probably still have some food and drinks and crafts, so go and be merry and enjoy this beautiful sunny day. Thank you.
There you go.